Alright, folks. Little bit of a late start today. Only 90-ish minutes. 90-ish minutes. Iris wristwatch. But we're gonna jump right into it. Last Friday felt like it was only half of the second to the last case, but it turns out the second to the last case is actually the prelude to the very last case. So, we are going to give this final case all due respect and just jump right into it. Let it take care of itself. Final chapter. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Also, new chair. Not really new chair, took it off somebody else who doesn't need it. Secondhand chair, but still new chair for me. Actually doesn't kill my back. It's a little bit ghoulish. But my dad actually got himself a gamer chair when his cancer was advancing to such a state that normal chairs just wouldn't do it for him. But he insisted on working, hunched over a desk, so he did any sort of comfortable chair. And now he's bedridden. He's not using any chairs anymore, so... An actual comfy chair. I have to say, this is an extreme luxury. I haven't had a comfortable chair in years. Susato, why she's upset? She's only recently learned that her father is a real Dr. Wilson, since Professor Mikotoba and Shomes were the ones who went off on grad adventures 16 years ago. And she's got a sister. She's recently learned that her own father is the object of her worship, the true authorship of the stories that she loves. And that she has a sister. She should be happy. She should be thrilled. What's the matter? She is one degree away from Shomes. What's the matter, Naruhodo? Apart from you flipping out. We have to be Susato support for this time. Won't let you down, she says, after physically putting him down. Yeah, her father is a partner of a world-famous detective, so why she's upset? An actual thanks. He's the frosting. Our vampire boy is filling with warm blood of life. See, that's just how some people are. Even me, some people were confused because my eyebrows are usually like this, but my words are happy. He's been domesticated. They caged him, and now he's gone tame. Yeah, that's the Chief Justice doing all the killings at blame. We covered this already. dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Goes to the late brother. What do we know about his brother? Allegedly, his brother doesn't fit the mold for professor killings because, or reaper killings for that matter, since his brother was apparently a good person. But Genshin Asoji did fight with him. They did have a duel, I think. But the biggest evidence implicating Genshin was evidence that, what's his face? That the late Gregson found in his stomach, having pushed for an autopsy. Oh, now we confirm that the non-Baroque, the non-Barrack Van Zeeks, the painting is Clint. This made of the game, and it was like, who is this Clint? Who is this person? Do you know? I don't know who it is. I do love his very David Bowie face. Some connection to your bro. Bum 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 bum. The scent of expensive tea leaves. Oh, a special iris blend. When you say clear Hurley's head, you don't mean the color of his hairs on top, do you? Everybody's subdued today. Suzato subdued, Iris subdued, Van Zeek's thawing. Oh, come on, come on. She should be happy. She might have come to terms about having stolen the autopsy report from how many years ago, but she's found her papa. She's found her papa, and he's actually alive. A papa and a sister. She should be thrilled. But lots to get ready. Get ready for the final evidence resolution when all seems desperate. Hairly. Tug on his ears. He's not gonna give you more penalty allowances, is he? It's actual evidence. Iris's lucky charm, a little doll of Mr. Sholmes in hair form. I've been told to tug on its ears if I run out of options at the trial today. How much you want to bet that actually is going to be a desperation move that reveals some actual new hidden evidence? Do you open up? Does it speak? Pull it! Do it! Pull it right now! When the time is right, it's doing it again! It's depriving me of something I can do until it wants me to do it. I don't want stoic patience! That's straight up confirming that something will happen. It is cute though. Is it packed? Someone pulled out all the stops. Is that when we do get a jury this time? I mean, alright, slight disappointment that the final case isn't a return to the Supreme Court of Japan, extraditing the Chief Justice for his crimes against the Japanese people, and that invasion of sovereignty having assassin killing people on our soil. But it's a final trial, so it's gotta have everything in it, so it can't not have a jury to have summation examinations back and forth with. Maybe a jury made up of the judiciary. Solving crimes, having stag nights. You know what? You know who else has been missing? Jigoku has been missing too. Judge Jigoku. Windows are closed, just making sure. Oh yeah, soothing delicious tea. Give me a second. Mmm. This one final reckoning. It's eerily quiet. Do we have a jury? The Chief Justice himself. Chief Justice, you're in the wrong seat. We want you in the witness box. I don't like this. I already don't like this because I've been suspecting the Chief Justice for the very first day we saw him. I don't trust him to be compliant, to be impartial. I trust him to constantly put pressure onto the prosecution, to deny them the right to pursue various forms of inquiry that isn't going to fit his narrative by accepting to be strict with us. We are going to destroy the country's legal system. We've taken out bodies, proving them to be liars. We've taken out the chief coroner and studied the forensics investigation team. Now I want to go for the head moose himself. A closed trial. Does that mean no jury at all? No summation examination of anybody? Total and unequivocal authority. Ghastly. A fair judicial process. Keep his name out of your mouth. No pigeons? Oh, no pigeons still. Come on, come on. He's gotta have pigeons. This is going to be an avenue to move suspicion off of Van Zeeks, but I don't believe Gregson is the Reaper. For sure, Gregson had investigations that Scotland Yard did not know about. He had special investigations into the Reaper. Signed statement. Do we get the affidavit? Victim's time of death has not yet been established. Could not be ruled out. Was that before or after we spoke to her? The updated autopsy reports. See, we share the updated autopsy report with the prosecution, but they don't share with us. What was that exact phrasing? The official opinion of the investigation team. See, he wants to push his narrative. That is why he is on this desk here. Attempts to disguise the real time of death. Are you saying the possibility that it was frozen, or are you suggesting, Kazuma, boldly that your boss is the one, your boss on the bench right now to tighten the leash on your neck, is disguising it? Natural decaying process. Okay, alright. He's not going for the throat just yet. In that part of London, is deliberately choosing to interpret it one way. The body has to thaw. Because the body wasn't frozen when we found it, right? If it was in another part of town, that's perfect. That fits perfectly. Because then the body could thaw out in transit to the alleged crime scene. Is that going to be a trap? Are there implications in Gregson's prior day movements that actually would implicate Van Zieks? Naturally, come to the bench first. Representative of Scotland Yard. I thought I was going to say Reaper at first. That would have been a twist. Self-conferred right. Let her have it. Yeah, again. What? More than her defense attorney did. No gratitude at all from Gina. Of course he knew. Because Strongheart is probably the one being investigated, if Gregson got that deep. If not, he is Chief Justice. Smuggled goods dealing that day. I think that's a contradiction. She is covering for her beloved boss. But how could I uncontradict that? Is it the notice board? That did have the red-headed league. Or maybe the wig itself. Updated autopsy report. Identification. I don't think I have contradicting evidence, not directly. Who saw the Reaper at the place? Can we see the book? Is that barely covered flaunting, Strongheart? No, couldn't be. Hissing is murder. He doesn't think of himself as a criminal, so he's not doing black market shady stuff, but he is a criminal in the sense that he is doing extrajudicial killings. Particular room, certain exclusive gentleman's club. So there was a good smuggling going on? So what? All they're saying is Van Zieks was at the place where the smuggling was going down? How does that relate to this case? Oh, because Gregson allegedly was here, and so was Van Zeeks. Let's assume that's true. Who's to say that it wasn't Daily Vigil who was actually there?
Hold it!
Yeah, that's why she's a boss. She's a chief investigator now. It's not like this nothing works. She is fueling the legendary inspector's investigations. Her own investigations. What'd you find? Oh yeah, the book. Can we grab the book?
Hold it!
False bottom in the drawer. And nobody else in Scotland Yard who ever investigated Gregson's office ever found it. Hand it over. Submit this into evidence. A gentleman's club in London, but where? Where is it in relation to Hyde's Park or to Fresno Street? Not gonna let her. Hasn't settled his objection. This is a fair bit different since the Chief Justice is presiding over this. I'm going to consist. If he said nothing yet. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution. That feels like a leading statement. He wanted a yes, Your Honor. The face is like the audacity of this little listener. Show off your reading skills, Gina, go for it. The Groose. The Groose. Why does the Groose sound familiar? We don't have anything on the Groose, do we? France has nothing on the Groose, but it does sound familiar, I don't know why. this won't have it, it's just his warrant card. I don't think I got anything on the Groose. No.
Hold it!
But maybe they'll remember it in lieu of my memory. Because it does sound familiar. There has been a Groose Club mentioned before. Even lower ranking. She worked directly under Gregson.
Hold it!
Don't ask me, I'm just a kid. Saw the Reaper at the place too. I got the name of the club, but I don't really have anything else. Over there? None have been identified, so no. Maybe that's because he didn't. We have confirmed that daily vigil does often go in the place of Gregson. A mistake in this testimony somewhere. It has to be the Groose, right? Because the Groose is the only thing we dug out. Gentleman's club called the Groose. Do I have anything? Is Groose mentioned here? No, just St. Bart's. Large park on Lime Street. I guess that's probably not by the Groose. No Groose here. On the Blackbird line. No bonus ticket for admittance of 1+1. Dismissal note, naturally doesn't have anything other. Fresno Street. Nothing about any Grooses on here, right? Red-Headed League, the only thing of interest. Maybe that is important. Maybe if it was in his notebook to investigate, but wasn't on the notice board, then wasn't important enough for Gregson himself to investigate at? Nothing else in here but the passport thing. Yeah, that was dated for the 31st October. I read that to mean that, oh no, he was one day to retirement, blah 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 cliche. But no, that is evidence. That is, it's not possible for him to have been at the Grouse if he was in France. Smart. Okay. And the passport's right here. Within 1 week for the 31st of October. On police business. But he didn't go, though, as a thing. Or maybe he did, I don't know. But Gina didn't go. Is permission for the applicant and one additional person for travel. But his whole thing is that he wants to take Gina to France to escape the Reaper, and that's a natural +1. But that +1 never went. So this is supposed to be on the 31st of October, the day before the body was found, right? Objection? Because he was supposed to be in France the day his body was discovered?
Objection!
No, the music didn't change. Penalties. Whatever fate befalls you in here, no one else would ever know. That's a threat. He is straight up telling me nobody is going to find the body. Nobody's gonna hear me scream. If I make it out the courtroom alive. Maybe if I just press from the beginning then. Maybe there are gonna be more clues now that we've sussed out the Grouse. Yeah, nothing comes of that.
Hold it!
Something went off when that went on at the club, no question. Can I contest that? That if something did go on at the club, Gregson wasn't a part of it since he was off in France. Big job and all, but coppers aren't onto it yet. This trial's only just begun. It's the very first cross-examination, and I'm already stumped. Could I use Iris's lucky charm now? If I run out of options during the trial today? Let me tug those ears. I'm stumped already. I'm allowed to pull the ears. What else could it be there? A Clint autopsy report? A duel? No. The passport says he was in France the day before his body was discovered. Metal traveling trunk. Maybe the metal traveling trunk itself. Oh my goodness, is that his travel trunk? Is that it? His travel trunk because he was going to France at the time. He might have been on a fishing boat. Maybe the fishing boat is where he got ice to preserve the body. And nobody questions it because he always smells like fish and chips. Maybe that's it. Warrant card issued to him by Scotland Yard, but was in the possession of what's his face. Indeterminate measures may have been taken to disguise the time of death.
Hold it!
Okay, yeah, I'm stumped. Just an apprentice.
Hold it!
Reaper seen at the place, but they can't confirm that Gregson was also there, which is the whole point. The whole point is that the Reaper Van Zeeks was at that place at that time, when Gregson was supposed to investigate, which implicates Van Zeeks as a possible murderer. But if Gregson was never there, then that throws this whole thing out, this whole line of inquiry. We can't get anyone to verify Gregson was there, and we can't open up further testimony on that. So, isn't that important enough that even if Van Zeeks was there, we can't get confirmation on Gregson himself? I pressed everything at least twice, there's nothing else to draw out. If everything Van Zeeks told us is true, then Gregson wasn't there. But how do I say Gregson wasn't there? Especially if you already have Kazuma saying we have no witnesses that Gregson was there. A mistake in this testimony, but where? Ooh, so yawny today. It can't be as simple, as all yard detectives are supposed to follow orders, investigate what they're told, and here we have a whole secret investigation board that nobody knows about. A notebook with a load of secret meetings. And I can't undo asking about the Groose. Witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too. I have nothing to contest that. Gentlemen's club called the Groose. Or maybe a ship? A ship called the Groose? And the Gregson trunk is because he was going on board, allegedly for a trip to France. No, it can't be. That's stupid. Since there is a club called the Groose, Van Zieks was seen there. Van Zieks was seen there, but Gregson wasn't. So what if there are two Grooses? What if the Groose is a boat, but because there is a club called the Groose, that they went to the wrong place? Just passport number, but nothing about an itinerary is there. And what's the name of the ship? Blackbird Line. And the Blackbird Line does it. The SS Groose. That's what I remembered it from. It is a ticket. Okay.
Objection!
Et tu, Kazuma. Et tu. Speaking of cracked mirrors, Cursed Princess Club is back for its final season. But the sad news is it is the final season. So that would explain then why he had a passport for France on the 31st and didn't take Gina with him. But the whole point of going to France was to remove her from the country. Different France trip then. See, there you go. The evidence says I'm not untrustworthy, so you can believe everything the defense has to say. I have wasted 3.45 seconds of his time.
Objection!
Yeah. So, what made you guys believe that the smuggling was going to happen in a gentleman's club? Was it mentioned to be a club, or was it just mentioned to be other groups? But where was it? Where was it the day before? Maybe the day before it was safely docked in France. And so Gregson took a boat out across the channel the day before. In other words, the handover might not have happened in Britain. Now the passport comes into play that Gregson was in France on police business on the 31st, the day before his body was found.
Objection!
Is irrelevant. Evidence? Finally, where's my passport? Substantiates my claim that the victim was investigating the Groose on the 31st of October. Take it!
Take that!
Okay, Strongheart, I'm going to Barney size this for you. When people leave the country on a certain date, they have a passport. That means that Gregson wouldn't be in Britain on that time. It means he was in France, where the Groose was parked. Oh no. And that means Gregson was probably on board the Groose when Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku arrived. So they're probably sharing the boat with the corpse of Gregson, kept on ice, on the boat. Then he was planted. Smuggling, you just said so. You just said why the victim was out and about on the 31st of October. And it certainly wasn't for trick-or-treating. There's no way he knew. We had the box in our possession. Has been asked to follow. Has Scotland Yard been influenced by the Chief Justice too? Now that the good and honest Gregson is out of the picture? The prosecution's office is trying to hide something. So everything the prosecution and Scotland Yard came up with gets out the window, all of it. Their assumptions, their evidence. What he's playing at, Neil Strongheart, is that what you have on a leash is not your dog, and he's about to bark back at you. Those threats he made the day before, you better conduct yourself in court the way that I want, didn't pay attention at all. For the Reaper. No, no, no. Who was in France? Who escaped to France? What was it? 16 total cases where Van Zieks failed to get a guilty verdict, but only 13 people actually fell to the Reaper? One being Gina, who hasn't left the country, one being Professor Harebrained, who went to Germany. And he's still alive and well, so Gregson going to Dunkirk and back isn't going to murder a professor in Deutschland. Oh, he doesn't have the order that the real judge has. That's how you know he's not a good guy. And that's patently false now that we know that that room was a hideout of Daily Vigil and Gregson. The truth is perpendicular to it. He was investigating the Reaper from his secret office. I still believe he was investigating the Reaper. Or who, though? Who's in France? Unless this line of reasoning is going to lead us to Gregson went to France to murder somebody, but then ends up murdered, so who kills him? If Van Zieks was seen in the Gentleman Club groups in London at the same day that Gregson was in the Steamboat Groups in France, that the only one who could have killed Gregson in this scenario is his intended victim. But then who? The only ones we know who were in France at that time were Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku. Is he going to try to pin this? Is he going to try to pin this on one of his practical uncles? An accomplice? Yeah, the Reaper does have, what is his name? What's her name? Asashin, but she's been in Japan for a whole year. She doesn't qualify in this case. Do we have evidence on Asashin? Can we say, no, that's wrong? Because the accomplice's name is Asashin? I don't think we do. We don't have her name on paper. Yes, he is. We're going to find out and pin it onto the Chief Justice, aren't we? Yes. Yes, we are. That's true. Like I said, the only ones we know on the steamship was Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku. No suspicious deaths were reported, but we're establishing that he was killed on the cruise the day before. Again, so who did the killing? Years of assassination plots. No, it doesn't. Yeah, from the other side of the lens. Yeah, rumors about Gregson being a legendary professor. Not professor, investigator. For the boss, Gina. For the boss. We gotta prove that it's not a notebook of assassinations, it's a notebook of investigations, befitting the copper. Cause he's investigating the Reaper. Okay, who's the mark? Tell us. Criminal got away 10 years ago or something. Oh no, the only ones who left 10 years ago is Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku. But the guy for that case got killed. That was Genshin Asogi. Is that to... Well, we know that Genshin's innocent, because he's gotta be. But is that to imply that maybe Jigoku or Mikotoba actually did kill somebody? Or does the Chief Justice simply want to erase everyone who was on that trip? Genshin, Mikotoba, and Jigoku? That could be why Mikotoba's gone missing. Not Mikotoba. Jigoku's gone missing since last night. And why Shom spirited off Mikotoba as well. For their protection and safety. Uh-huh. And... No, you dumb butt. If he was investigating the Reaper, and if he was using his intelligence network to suss out patterns and relationships, and it worked, it apparently worked because he knew where to go. How do you read this then? So it is a foreign name. She has trouble with Naruhodo. Say Shiro. That's Judge Jigoku. Jigoku. He better be alive. He's a fantastic judge, possibly one of the best of the series yet.
Objection!
And you saw that nobody's seen him since. He hasn't been assassinated on the boat. He better not be dead. He's in hiding. Imagine the implications of a Japanese Supreme Court judge and the Minister of Foreign Affairs being murdered on British soil the day he arrives in London. Killed the inspector personally. That is a boring line of reasoning. What he should do is implicate Jigoku. Betray your homeland. Nah, he wouldn't. He's still a prosecutor, and his case is still about Van Zeeks. But it doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold water because he was killed in France. He has to be. The obvious line of reasoning is he was killed in France. He failed because he was killed, not he failed ambiguously, and then was killed later by the Reaper.
Hold it!
Van Zeeks? Hey! Oh, I thought he was gonna fling the glass at us. For a second, I thought his hand quivered. It does look like it is, but I think that's just the animation. He's swinging his hand around, and I think it just doubles up like that between cycles or something, between loops. Like when a video isn't properly looped, and you have that jump that marries the beginning to the end. That's it, just that she's no detective, but her ego! Are you to suggest that this was planted evidence which Van Zeke would never hold for? He was good on evidence and documentation. What you say? Make him testify. Testify! It is a shame, though, that we're not going to get summation examination. You see that? You see that small bit of foreshadowing? That bit of foreshadowing. Toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass to me. It could just be because Strongheart's a jerk. Or it could be because Strongheart knows that he is not at all being impartial. Load of stuff about what the Reaper got up to past 10 years. Oh yeah, alright. Forgot about that. That was the prior testimony she gave. But then we had that big revelation about Jigoku.
Hold it!
No, it shows he was investigating the Reaper. These guys have it all backwards. Yeah, exactly. Gina has it right. Gina is the only smart person in this whole room. Was one arm of the Reaper. Are you sure? I think they're the same team. And because they're dancing around each other, they suspected each other. That's what I think. Of course he's not going to admit to that. Hence why he went to the Gentleman's Club. If he was Gregson's boss, then he would have known it's a ship and not the club. Of course, it does give an alibi. That he knew the passport was in a metal box. What if the Chief Justice did coerce Kazuma Asoji in some way to become the Reaper? I was concerned that that is why he had kidnapped him in Hong Kong, and had him brought over, and then put him under the prosecutor. I was wrong about him being picked up in Hong Kong. He just hitchhiked his way across the world on his own. But he was picked up by the Chief Justice, which is extremely shady, everything the Chief Justice touches. So I'm willing to believe that he might have been, at one point, groomed into being an assassin.
Hold it!
Yesterday. Assassin. The assassin. So, it's not like you don't know the word assassin. Can't we point out that Assassin was in Japan for at least a whole year, maybe longer, since she was a student embedded with the Department of Medicine? But Assassin is dead. How do I tell them Assassin is dead? Gina, that is because the only +1 in Gregson's life at that point in time was you. He wanted to take care of you and make you flee the country. Maybe while he generally knew who the assassins would have been in general, he didn't know who it'd be now because Assassin was dead. Assassin was planted in Japan for a whole year's time. So, whoever the new killer is, he doesn't know it. Oh no. Oh no. If we go all the way back to the last game of the last case of the first game, and to the government communication encrypted in Japanese Morse had 4 names: Wilson, A. Shin, K. Asogi, and Gregson. Maybe that is a list of targets and the assassins assigned to them. Because A. Shin did kill Professor Wilson. And maybe they did have Kazuma intended to kill Gregson. If that's true, then that disc suddenly makes a lot of sense. Why those 4 names?
Hold it!
And the Minister of Foreign Affairs. note about him being a criminal, what got away?
Hold it!
See, that's the shady part, because the only criminal from 10 years ago in all of Britain was a professor and he hung. Yeah, he testified and broke the bench. The Reaper wouldn't kill someone over a little property damage, for which he was charged. Oh. Foreign guy comes in, badmouths the British Empire, now he has to die. Is that really it? But he made reparations, that means he was punished. Not every court trial has to be a death sentence. He said some naughty words, he broke the witness stand, and then he made reparations. But the Reaper was active in Japan. The Reaper didn't need to wait for Jigoku to return to Britain. In a bit, Gina. As soon as the game lets us, we're gonna tear your testimony to cheese. Because you know the chances, all. We will, just as soon as you let us. Soon as you let us get back to the cross-examination. See, like I said, the Chief Justice is a very spitting image of social Darwinism, in which poor people and criminals are poor and criminals because they're born as such, and good, noble people are born into wealth and prosperity and privilege because they're born as such. So there's no way that East End Lestrade could ever be anything more than a diver. You gotta find a flaw somewhere. Oh, Gina. She's even maintaining tears throughout this, isn't she? No, tears are gone. Got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. Maybe it's... Would the Asogi papers implicate anything? I don't see it, no. John H. Wilson, coroner. Clint Van Zeek's male. Stab wound to the heart. Other superficial external wounds indicative of a duel. Scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand. No document and corresponding ink was found. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. Criminal what got away from the Reaper. Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for prisons. Redundancy pay, financial benefits revoked. Aiding and abetting the escape of the prison to convict professor prior to his execution. There's lots of other people who are guilty. And there's Gregson, being extraordinarily close to both Van Zeeks. Criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago. Soggy papers couldn't possibly be it. Press her plea. Title drop. Final chapter of the resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. One inconsistency that defies explanation. Oh, that's giving her so much hope. Yes, Gina, at one point you were wrong. I have to choose. I can't go back. I can't check the rest of her testimony. I really don't know. The only ones who've spoken. Let's simplify this. Are you, and you. That's 4 people. Okay, so who said what? They've all said so many different things, I can't remember who specifically said what anymore. Is it Kazuma? Did Kazuma say something wrong? Was it in something that was said by someone? I think I might just have to eat the penalty. Just eat the penalty, then go back, press every single statement, and find anything that pops out bad. I don't think Van Zeek said anything contrary to any known facts. Everything out of male Strongheart's mouth is venom. but I'm not sure there's anything specific to press on. Maybe something Gina said. Maybe something Kazuma said. The only weird thing is that... The only weird thing I can think of is the whole premise that Judge Jigoku was a target in the first place for having broken the witness stand and said mean words about the British Empire. Because even though he got the acquittal, he paid reparations. He didn't go scot-free, he did his punishment. And also, the criminal from 10 years ago. That have to be that's the Professor trial. The only major crime from 10 years ago is a Professor trial. But I'm not sure whose words would contest that. Maybe it's Kazuma Asogi's? Was he the one who said that Jigoku was on trial for breaking the thing? And Van Zieks did say that he prosecuted that case too. That case too. Maybe gotta lean on the 2. And be like, nah man, that case is insignificant. The Reaper never went after petty thieves and little civil court stuff like that. Van Zieks? Go back to it though, I can't go all the way back up to the testimony. There was so much said here that it ate up all the log space. The whole premise of the Reaper is absurd, killing those who have been found innocent. The rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane man's comprehension. What if it's something as minor as that? Sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. But then 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Could it be the assassin thing? Because assassin was in Japan. Would have had a whole year to get Judge Jigoku. Maybe Kazuma.
Take that!
No testimony, so it is between then. It is between Gina and Van Zieks. No, this is right. The relevant piece of information. Oh no, I gotta double up on it too. An inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asogi has said. Oh no! And then the rabbit, right? The rabbit when I have no other options. Just tug at his ears right now. Something Prosecutor Asogi has said. I don't think I know. I mean, I have stuff that do link over to the Professor case, but that's not being asked for right now. I don't think. Maybe this? That maybe there isn't such animosity between all the three, but that can't be right. It's so vague though. Something, some nebulous thing, Prosecutor Asogi has said is inconsistent. That is so incredibly vague. shot at the chest from the front? Now do I give him his dad's will? Oh, there's blood here too. You know what though? A sharp slash. I didn't think about it, but maybe it was. Maybe it is the box. The huge gash like this could have been the sword. Because he did have a sword at the time. He had 2 swords then. If this whole trial began 8 days after we last saw him get his memory back. That's a week's time. That would be the sword then. And then blood. And this would have been open at the time, going by the cut mark. So that's what he saw the passport inside the box, but then close the box to move this to the next scene over. Maybe the inconsistency is how he knew about the passport. Like he was all like, I knew you were gonna ask about that, waiting for you to bring that up.
Take that!
It works! It's the correct line of reasoning. And yet, Kosogi mentioned the passport. I keep saying Kosogi, so I'm just gonna imagine that is Kazuma Asogi's truncated, cutesier nickname. It fits. They do tend to like truncate names to make it easier to say. Nicknaming nothing too uncommon. With your nose for trouble. But this means that Kazuma probably did kill Gregson as the replacement assassin, or a more domestic reached one. This is a tricky bit of reason to get to, but this is a fair bit of trickiness. This isn't McDonald's and burgers. This is knowing you're hungry, but trying to figure out exactly what you want. There's no trickiness here. Thorough inspection of the evidence and going back on what we know. Paying attention to what people said, remembering parts that stick out, having hunches and suspicions. This is all right.
Objection!
Where were you? At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Grus. You're gonna confess to it, Kazuma? No! You tricked me! Yes, that is the answer we want. Where's your alibi? And I don't think anybody saw Kazuma. Kazuma's whole existence was a surprise to Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku. Male Strongheart didn't think to tell them about his recovery and his communications with them, his recent communications even. When we told them about Kazuma, they're like, "What? Really? This is fantastic news? Why didn't you guys tell us?" So they never been on the ship either. Oh no. Oh no. We have motive too. Since Inspector Gregson is the one to petition for the autopsy, so Gregson could be said to be the man who got his father killed. It was Gregson's evidence that helped Genshin hang. Oh, are you challenging me? A clue that he's overlooked. A secret the trunk can tell us. It's a sword slash. Whether there is a where in the trunk is the alleged clue. Nothing else could have done it. A huge gash across the side of the trunk, through the leather into the metal behind. It could only be a pure made Japanese katana. With considerable force. And there's nothing else, right? There's nothing outside. There's a blood stain. Only thing inside is a passport. And see, there's nothing on the top side, but if this is open... Oh, that does go inside. So, he chopped from here and scratched down. But the blood got to here, though.
Got it!
Really? It's not his sword slash? Only 3 to go. That's right, it's been an hour and 30 minutes, 34 minutes of the trial. So it's going to be to be continued soon, and to be continued seems to replenish all of your penalties. Where in the trunk is the alleged clue to be found? It's the slash. It's his sword slash. It can't be the blood. Is it that the passport was inside the trunk? Is it as basic as that? If it was inside the trunk, then how would he know it was in there? And not say in his coat pocket? It's not the inside cut, is it? Oh. It's a chip off the sword. I thought that was just the metal. I thought that was just a cut in the metal. He chops down like that, cleaves the metal, then slashes the outside. But no, it's a broken piece of sword. A fragment of metal. It's a
Got it.
fragment of metal. Kosogi, you got 2 swords. He's got Kuruma and the other sword too. Maybe he didn't study Kuruma. Well, I guess he might have if he was seeking vengeance, and he would have used Kuruma. His family blade, the spirit of the Japanese man, to avenge his father. It is broken. But this means that our friend who's just come back to life is gonna end up hanging, isn't he? For murdering Gregson at a minimum, and trying to go after everybody else involved in that professor case. But I'm not unconvinced yet that... I'm not convinced that the Chief Justice is not the mastermind behind all this. Maybe part of the Chief Justice taking in Kazuma is to fill his head with poison that, oh, it was Gregson's evidence that killed your father. It was Van Zeek's prosecution that killed your father. To have this foreign Japanese boy go off and kill some prominent people at Scotland Yard and have this very confusing court case to be like, see, we would not have known all these truths were not for my forensic evidence. So maybe Kazuma did murder a few people in revenge, but the mastermind is definitely going to be Chief Justice. A point. Strongheart, don't pretend that you did not order him to go to the boat yourself. Accompany to Dunkirk. But Kosogi, if you're saying that without a doubt Gregson was the Reaper, and he carries an assassin with him, wouldn't that say that you are that assassin? Doesn't that implicate you? Isn't this a confession then? You have motive then for killing Gregson. Maybe you didn't want to kill Judge Jigoku, who was basically an uncle to you. You have killed no one. Maybe he moved the body, maybe somebody else did the killing, and he's guilty of trying to cover up the crime, cooperating with it, guilt by association, all that. But he's missing today. He is missing since yesterday. Is that true, Kazuma? Is that true? Was it avenging your father, or finding the truth of his disappearance, a big motive in your coming to Britain in the first place when you tried so hard at law? Gregson was no assassin. Oh, then Van Veeks murdered him to what? To make up for his failure. And that ruined Fresno Street. Okay, but there's a problem. The problem is that this puts him in the room the night before the body was found. There would have been decomposition and so on, but the body was preserved over the night. There's still the case of the body having been preserved, which wouldn't have happened if he was killed in the room the night before and left there. The fish and chips began to decay, but he didn't.
Objection!
And the blood. What about the blood on the case? I got it. It was a ceremonial killing. Technically, it wasn't any one person that killed Genshin Asogi. It was the court case. The ironclad court case. And so he slashes the metal traveling case with the family sword. And that is ritualistic vengeance. It is imitative magic. Instead of killing the people, he kills the effigy that represents the culpability of the court system itself. Bam! Solved. The great sword Karuma. The illustrious blade passed down through the generations of the Asogi clan. The prize sword's tip has a small piece missing. Oh, that's okay. That makes it sleeker, easier to clean, heightens the sensation. I want to gaze at it for hours. Anything else on the sheath itself to look at? The sheath span, by the way, does not billow in the breeze. Missed opportunity. Yeah, and part of meticulously caring for over the years is repairing it, so would it be the first time it had to be reforged or whatever? I'm sure. Maybe he used it to pry open the case. He shoves a tip in, and then he uses it like a fulcrum or something. And in the process, makes a gash along the side, breaks a tip off in the metal cleave, but does get it open maybe? No, because the latches weren't broken. Maybe he tried to open it, and did no more than break a sword. Or he did open it, and somehow caused no damage to the case. There has to be more to examine. Because don't forget that if I go back out to menu, the title, that the mystery accolade for this case, not Taylor, accolades. Best chips in town. The mystery accolade has a sword on it. This mystery accolade has the Skulkin brothers, so first game's mystery is something with the Skulkins. This one has Karuma, something about Karuma. If it's not investigating Karuma, maybe it's using it improperly. Because some accolades are deliberately making mistakes. Like this one. Name the prosecutor and Susato's dad as the victim. Erroneously answering Mr. Shoma's question about who might have something that belonged to the convict. So maybe these two are about presenting or naming the wrong thing or person. So, Chief Justice, is that to say that Jigoku, your apprentice at the time, isn't in your protected custody? As I've been saying. I think he's chilling with Shomes and Mikotoba. Because Shomes knows what's up. An emergency recess for 30 minutes. Okay, it has almost been 2 hours, so right on schedule. Assume the worst. They're not gonna find him. They're not gonna find him because he's in hiding. But that he's gonna burst in heroically at the 11th hour at our most desperate moment. Maybe pulling the rabbit ears causes all this to happen. We become really desperate, there's nothing else we can do. We tug the rabbit ears, and in pops Shomes, Iris, Mikotoba, Jigoku, Genshin from beyond the grave. You would have to agree, because you yourself are the Reaper, Mr. Strongheart. Don't think you're getting away from my suspicions. Here on the final case. Take this man off the judge's bench. Put him in the witness box. Adjourn for 30 minutes. Well, you heard the judge, the Chief Justice. Oh, they gotta. It's an Ace Attorney game, they gotta spiral, especially for the final court case. Yeah, the foregone conclusion that the Chief Justice is a sociopathic social Darwinist who wants to see criminals murdered and seeks a higher position as Attorney General in order to make the bloodthirsty British Victorian-era justice system even more bloodthirsty. One last hand to play. Is it the rabbit ears? One last ear. Let me tug it. Come on. Let me pull it. That's not the rabbit. Let me pull them ears. Come on, Susato, even you're saying it's time to pull the ears. Let me. Well, the time is right. You mean when it's right now? Don't tell me that after we get through the flashback, and Susanoo saying, "Now the time," then I get to investigate the rabbit and pull on its ear properly. Perhaps now is the time. Pull it! What's the worst that's gonna happen? Ow! You killed it! You straight up killed the rabbit! Don't tell me he's discovered RF communication. Pull the other one! Oh my goodness! He's got his own mouse thing? Wait, does that mean... Hold on. You know how when you turn on the alternate costume, Naruhodo's outfit, his alternate outfit, has a little mouse. A little mouse Naruhodo on his shoulder. In his student uniform, his armband, the sword. Does that mean that mouse is also a communication device? Everyone's got their own communication device? That's too cute! And it stands there on his shoulder too, in the alternate costume. So it is in range to grab his ear and just tug away at it. Oh, the Groose. So they got RF communications, long-range RF communications, apparently with fantastic range and audio fidelity both ways, receiving and transmitting. And there's a bit of autonomy to the mouse. Wait, that means that Professor Mikotoba is with him too. Shrooms and his Wilson, the real Wilson, the Mikotoba. Hurley? If I may, is that Papa Mikotoba? Don't tell me that we get to investigate as Mikotoba. Do we? Do we actually get to? Mikotoba is in the first person. Come on, we get to right. If we get to investigate as Mikotoba, do we also get to do a final deduction dance with Sholmes and Mikotoba? The legendary pair? Do we deductions like old times? Do we? Ryunosuke's in recess, so we get all the time in the world, right? So it's on us to find new evidence. But how are we gonna get this evidence from the Groose to London within half an hour? We are still on the boat, staring at Sholmes. We do get to investigate. Come on. So the Groose isn't at sea yet. Alright. Find ourselves in Naples before long. We're actually doing it. Hey, not Biff. Biff with more blonde hair and less of a tan on his face, but still has chunky arms. World traveling great sailor. Chicken stroganoff. But then why does he have Sholmes written on his arm? He's got an actual tattoo of Sholmes' name. Does he have invisible eyebrows? Because when he was like, "What? How do you know?" He had weird undulations going on in the fleshy part of his face above his eyes. Eastern man left ship 2 hours ago at Dunkirk. But we gotta investigate as Mikitoba. I thought Sholmes chased them off. What did they go from the vent in first class cabin number 1? I'm sure that Sholmes' lithe body could fit through there. His special talent for squeezing through vents. But hold on, not with these locks. If this is the same sort of setup as the Borea, then the doors are sealed from the outside. They lock from the inside with a deadbolt, and that's it. Proper investigation as Mikitoba. But I haven't got a court record, so I can't look at his own inventory. Is it the button? The emergency button? Oh, the lights. Click the switch, but I want to see what else is in here. I want to look at the ship section map. Nothing. Button? Actual emergency button? The whole crew would know. What if I simply get my finger caught in the mousetrap and that he's got to escort the silly foreigner off to get a bandit or something? Lights first. The lights have got to work. Sholmes only needs 5 seconds after all. The thud, Isn't Chicken getting knocked out? Nobody here. Think of another approach. Oh, that wasn't enough time? Alright, Mousetrap then. Sorry, Mikotoba. For old time's sake. Chew. Mikotoba, I don't think he's gonna mistake you for a mouse. Chew, chew. So it doesn't work. Only Japanese mice make a chew sound. P, P, for Russian mice. Do a PP this time. I guess we got to alert the entire crew. Oh shucks, guess he's gotta take me to the captain and chew me out. Not even 5 seconds. What about the light thing then? That would have plenty of time. Surely you can pick locks in the dark too. Okay, the boat rules haven't moved. That's suspicious. So something behind the rules then. And something shoved into the speak voice box. Tossed on his clothes out, so Jigoku is probably hiding inside the trunk. But there's a combination lock! Oh my goodness! Hold on. No. The latches are down. The latches are down. I don't need the combination. Which is why we need to do a proper deduction game. No, we gotta investigate. And we aren't allowed to turn around. First, what's behind here? Stowing away in wardrobes and travel cases. They updated the rules for us. Nothing important about tripod, but tripod is so delicious. I mean, there's an obvious gap in the wall. Let's put 2 and 2 together here. An art fee. Shomes, your hand is right on what's been moved. Can we not make the connection? Can we not move this back to its proper place? Okay, maybe what we do is look at everything, build up ideas, and then do the deduction game. No copy of Herlock Sholmes! Okay, does this open? It's got a combination, but all the latches are down. It's locked? I guess latches down, or latches would go up to secure the lid to the base. What's to the lock for the lock? 7-digit combination. not in the box. It's not like the safe with Mr. Drebber, where there's a handle on the inside. Can we pull this out and see what he's hidden in there? Or, so whatever he says in here isn't heard in the outside world. Mm-hmm. Forbidden snakes. A favorite case of his? Any tiaras or earrings in the wastebasket? Rubbish! Shomesies, what have you found? Ah, a crumpled note. Notice issued to passengers. Evacuation drill notice, 31st October. Following the departure. No, come back. All first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eyes of the crew. Huh. A notice about a practice evacuation to be carried out by the crew of the SS Bruce in the night before the ship arrived in Dover, found in Judge Jigoku's cabin. I have evidence, but I don't have a court record. There's still ice in it, so he could have been gone for long. Not to mention, they have ice on the boat. That means they have the facilities for storing a body. Or they just have a really big ice box with actual large blocks of ice. We didn't get to look at the wardrobe. We didn't get to muse on whether or not Mikotoba was in the wardrobe. Well, he's gotta materialize, because we gotta dance around somebody for the deduction game. But first, something that must be done. Oh, he's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! Yes! Not yet left espresso. Is he in the wardrobe? Is he shoved in the box? He's really just shoved in the box. No, he's in the speaker too. They shoved him in the speaker too, and blocked him with clothes so he doesn't come out. I want to see Professor Mikotoba dancing along with Shomes. Come on. In years. So they used to do this dance together too. Say yes, it could only be yes. Nothing would please him more. Oh! I'm sorry, Japan, but Professor Mikotoba has truly fallen in love with Britain's finest. Time is of the essence, and so we'll take her time. But the ice hasn't melted. Do take the lead? Can we? No course correction. We just put the evidence we need, don't we? No course correction. Excellent. He doesn't have to showboat so the kids aren't here. That's not a bookshelf, that's a sailor. Shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours since.
Take that!
He does a little tap dance, oh my goodness, I love it. The tattoo on his arm. Keep a lookout for Shomzis. Well, they didn't share a cabin. The dark secret hidden has to be the sign. Out of place, and with this framing. See, I was watching Punchy play this yesterday, right? But he just started the game. So he started off with Case 1, Game 1, Case 2, onto the Berea. And there was some chat about, oh, let us play the game already. But see, this is part of the game. This is a narrative sort of adventure thing. You gotta go through the story. What do people want? Just, here's the answer. Oh, you're so smart. It's about the characters. Ace Attorney is about the characters. So of course it's going to give you easy framings and whatnot, because it's not exactly a deep, in-depth mystery game. But it's the fun of it. It's like with Wind Waker. Everyone's like, oh no, Wind Waker's so awful. You take a whole half hour before you get to do the game. But that whole half hour is the game. You gotta go through the idyllic life on Outset Island. Gotta have Link just being the happy, lethargic island boy. It's not just whacking swords around, it's the people. It's the people who make the game. Otherwise, where's the emotional investment? Oh, I can't examine. The remnants of the dark deed being masked by something, awkwardly hiding traces of a crime. He's got so much style, so much flair. Jigoku is a big, soft teddy bear of a man, but he's also a bear of a man. When he was testifying 10 years ago, he did break the witness bench. So maybe he broke the law by accident. A hole. A bullet hole, maybe. A bullet hole. From when Gregson was actually shot. Don't tell me that Jigoku actually did kill him. But there's no exit wound. It doesn't exit out the other side. Maybe Jigoku was protecting Kazuma. They just want their boy back. By the tattoo. Don't know how to approach this one. From every angle, so maybe not the tattoo. Just standing in place while we go about. Chunky arms. The wad of banknotes, check out the wad. He's got 2 red herrings this time. Okay, the one cool thing about watching Punchy play the Beret case yesterday is that I had no idea that Biff Stroganoff's neckerchief was actually a fish. It's got the fish shape, it's got the eyeball, it's got the tail. And now Chicken Stroganoff has 2 fishes. Why is Stroganoff covering for someone? I don't think the tattoo is why he's covering. The tattoo is probably how he's covering. People look out for Shomes. For who? For Shomes. Who? Shomes. Got it. But he's doing it for the money. He's doing it for the chunky arms. Jigoku is massive. This man is massive. So they recognize and respect each other's peak physical development. Now it's the money. He was paid.
Take that!
Is he in the... He's looking down to the box. It actually is the box. Or the books. He's hiding in the pages of a book. But amazing flexibility for the massive Jigoku to fit in that luggage. Turned his entire head. He has. He's looking at the wastepaper basket. That's a complete straight line. That's line of sight. He's hiding in the sock. You could actually choose wastebasket. Is he actually looking at the wardrobe? There's no way. He's looking at the box, right? The box that is locked? I mean, maybe he's looking at the wardrobe, and mechanically, it frames it where we're looking at him, and we see the box behind him. But then you press the button, and then there's a wardrobe just hidden behind you. It could be. Follow his gaze. His gaze that points to the wastebasket. Now, see, even if the clothes are all tossed out here, I don't think he's in the luggage. He's too big. It's a bigger luggage than Pavlova had, but it's not a giant man of a man, Judge Jigoku. There's no way. There's no way he's in here. He's in the wardrobe.
Take that!
The music hadn't changed. Blink. My first wrong answer. No games now? Oh. I guess he really is in the traveling case then. A close shave. Suffering neck fatigue. So they're really leaning on them staying in position while we zoom around, make our observations and decisions. Okay, he's in the large trunk. That should be way too small for Jigoku to ball up in, but let's pretend he's super flexible.
Take that!
Stifle his breath inside the trunk. He doesn't have to. He's gonna be so compressed in there that breathing is gonna be a luxury. With the combination! Is it behind the rules? No, the little hole was. Then where's the combination gonna be then? The password is Sholmes, isn't it? That's what I put on the wall. SHOLMES. The luggage has been Sherlocked. That would explain why the M is so skewed. It's upside down. 56311045. But the reason this game wasn't released for like 6 to 4 years is because of the whole dual estate thing, right? Did they add an S to this from a 6-digit password to a 7-digit one? Because it was Holmes originally, right? The original was just Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. That's my question. Was this changed for localization and to make good with the dual estate lawyers? Okay. And it's upside down, right? So backwards. Wait, there's no 6. Is it a 0 then? Alright, so it wasn't backwards. Since there's no... Oh, there's a present button.
Take that!
Sholmes backwards. Try your birthday. Okay, so it ends in 4-5. That's definitely ending in 4-5. See? Oh, that's a 2! It's a 2, not a 0. 5-2-3. 452311045.
Take that!
I'm sorry, but that was such a tiny tail on the 2 that I thought, oh, I guess just a really drawn 0. Yes, we did. Now give us the truth. Oh my goodness, this guy's an absolute contortionist. It's Uzumaki all over again. This guy's got no legs, he's got bonitis. They really can't fit him in there. That's really pushing it. They had to use a big stick to push on him to get every single bit in there. He's made of jelly. He sat on the bench for so long that his legs have become jellified and more flexible. Old friend? A reputation for fleeing the country without a word when things turn sour. Does that mean there's actually a hint of truth to what the prosecution and Chief Justice were saying about Jigoku having fled justice in the end? Hino the third. Welcome, Hino. Is that a little pixel Pepe? I can't tell it's got ears, and frogs don't have ears. Oh, it's an alien, is it? Oh, I see now. Little pixelated alien that's cute. And Kazuma was the one what done it. Is that really it? Because the only thing it was prosecuted for was a bit of light property damage and saying mean words about the British Empire, and that's it. That's the only thing. And he paid reparations. He paid reparations, so it's not as if he got off scot-free. What happened during the attempt on your life? Clearly, Gregson died on this ship. Who did the killing? Who put him on ice? And who moved him to the crime scene? I think that it was Kazuma. And there have been worse coincidences throughout the series. Nothing to say, Jigoku, but we're old friends. This guy is not just the Supreme Court judge of Japan, he's also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so This is kind of a more diplomatic thing. I also like how his buttons resemble the defense attorney badges from the rest of the series onwards. Subpoena from the Old Bailey. Yeah, but he's a foreigner. It's like when other countries try to get Zuckerberg to testify for the shadiness behind Facebook, and he's just like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. And then he doesn't do it. And then there's no consequences. At most, he sends some other stooge to give little PR speeches, and then nothing comes of it. There's a bit of sinisterness to his face now, his angular eyebrows. Oh wait, I thought there was a bit of horn to his hair, but that's just the pipes behind him. Well-placed pipes. I don't think that Judge Jigoku has a sinister side to him. I think that's just his King Yama design influence. The top of Gregson's watch. Didn't I say that we'll find this at the true crime scene? Oh no. And this suitcase is big enough to hold a body. What if the person who was seen entering the flat on Fresno Street with luggage was Judge Jigoku? A small component from Gregson's watch that is actively missing. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that this is a smoking gun. A small machine part that Mr. Sholmes found in Judge Jigoku's cabin on the SS Groose. Okay, so there was a bullet fired. Kazuma confirms being here. We have notes that we can't read about the evacuation drill of the first-class cabins. The speaker horn that's been covered up because someone had to speak about something. It's possible that while Kazuma escorted Gregson on this trip to France, that the killing of Gregson was in self-defense. But I don't believe that Gregson is a part of the Reaper. I think Gregson is good. I still do. So if Gregson was the one who was killed here, I don't think that it was self-defense then. Hino, don't stress it. Enjoy those meetings. Enjoy those meetings. Enjoy the lurks. Then November. Back to the Old Bailey, but we never actually got the save, did we? There was no to be continued. It just jumped straight from the Old Bailey to investigation with Sholmes and Mikotoba, then back to the Bailey, and it's been almost 3 hours, so there's gotta be a to be continued point at some point, isn't there? Isn't there gonna be to be continued? There isn't? There's no to be continued? Okay, there's not gonna be a to be continued then. I don't think. It's probably gonna be like some big drought because this is the final case. So I'm gonna call BRB right there. Grab a bathroom break, stretch my legs. Because the judge said half-hour recess. We never got a recess. We're gonna recess. Stretch your legs, get your drinks, reconvene. Is now officially convened. Reconvened? Reconvened. Oh, Naruhodo? Kozogi is hiding so much stuff. I firmly am convinced right now that he is not completely under the control of the Chief Justice, but was used as a tool of. Either overtly, during his amnesic period, or with some friction after regaining his identity and purpose. That he's already done the deed. They pick a conclusion and roll with it. There's no range of possibilities. He's dead, or he's fled, or we've been misled. No, he's dead. An immediate verdict. I get he's gotta play his part, but come on. We don't get a sword. Naruhodo isn't of the sword-bearing class. Now, hold on. All this hinges on the possibility that Van Zieks is the Reaper. We haven't had evidence that Van Zieks is the Reaper. We get to pick. There's two people who come to mind. Tomorrow, if possible. Oh. The surprise, alive, Jigoku. So what's this going to be the to be continued point then, if it's going to arrive tomorrow? No, it suggests he can't be found. You've just put Herlock Sholmes' name in the lips of the Reaper. Too soon. his testimony, and I need all those juicy bits of evidence to return to my court record. They're not in my court. They are. They somehow ended up in my court record. The evacuation drill itinerary. Notice about the practice of evacuation. Following departure for the port of Dunkirk. All crew members are required to assemble on the main deck at 10 p.m. in order to review evacuation procedures. The drill will take 20 minutes. Crew to resume duties as soon as the drill's over. That is a gap in time in which somebody could move a body to the freezer. Small component. It's a watch bit. It goes on the watch. How do we have this already? We don't see this. So he does ID it as a pocket watch crown. Cool. And that's all that. All that. Oh, whoa. There's a pocket watch. I want to combine them. Da 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 da. The small machine part that Mr. Sholmes and Judge found in Judge Jikoku's cabin on the SS Groose. Now clear it's missing the crown of Inspector Gregson's pocket watch. Which means we have the crime scene ID'd. Unless it took place in the hotel room. End of today's proceedings. Reconvene same hour tomorrow. Hours. From court case to investigation deductions to back into court and then to be continued. But it is the final case, so it's going to be beefy. Probably is going to be bigger gaps between saves. Well, there's a save I didn't think was going to happen, so BRB again. No, just took a break. A typical still night, and then the Fire Nation attacked. To Baker Street, a known... Ooh, that's a piece. But first, to Baker Street, a known place. Now that the Chief Justice has shown his name, that's dangerous. Is a witness going to stay over with the defendant? Is this kosher? We didn't get to see Professor Mikotoba dance. Yeah, he is. He's got the same laugh. He still thinks of you as a friend. He praises you in court, directly in front of everybody. He's simply working for the prosecution right now. You gotta remember, Naruhodo, we spent some time as an amnesiac under the Chief Justice, and is probably being coerced in some way. To Scotland Yard. I don't know, that's even less safe than here, isn't it? So, that telegram did go out then. Sholmes told us to, and we said we'd find Professor Mikotoba, but we never actually saw what happened, so I had doubts it actually happened. Do we not get to add it to our evidence? Is it written testimony on A. Shin's identity and being dead, so we could use that in court? It's Naruhodo's. He's worked so hard. He's earned the pheasant. For Susie's dad. Also your dad now, Iris. Professor Mickey. You can call him Dad. Just call him Dad. You could just say sisters. Who cares about halfness? But yeah, you two are sisters, aren't you? Suzato and Iris are sisters, and Sholmes and Mikotoba are their dads. But that just confirms that Mikotoba is Iris' dad, doesn't it? Is it a misunderstanding? Because Mikotoba's the one who wrote the autopsy report that Professor Wilton signed off on, so it's his handwriting all throughout the autopsy report, and all of her dad's diaries in the big metal box were written in the same handwriting. That means it is Mikotoba. Neither Wilson nor Mikotoba. Really? I must have missed that detail then. Is it really Sholmes then? Is Sholmes really Iris' father? No. Because the notes, the report and the notes, had the same handwriting, they're all Mikotoba's. And Sholmes says that they were written by her father. It's not Wilson. The dead Dr. Wilson in Japan isn't her father. Right? Right? Always seconds. She's got an infinite kitchen off to the side. We can't converse, or move, or present. We just gotta talk to them, don't we? And we can't look at anything else, can we? No, we can. We can look around. Some things. But there's not anything else to look at. It's all the same stuff as always, just at nighttime. So might as well just go to talking to him. We've already got the accolade. We don't have the accolade yet for every idea on the blackboard. But the only one missing is in the fourth case of the first game, so this doesn't matter at all. Nothing to do but talk to shows. That he's morose about no pheasant. Refusal to share his pheasant. I never had pheasant. Is it that superior bird? I've had pigeon, and pigeon is kind of a greasier chicken. But duck is too. I guess every other bird is just greasy. Do we get another deduction game to answer our questions? No. Just straight up conversation. On pheasant matters to discuss. I don't know, the music's acting up. Is it gonna be deduction? No, it's not. I could present. Record found as indicated, and duplicate. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. You see, it's exactly like the Japanese Morse message that was leaked from the Kamo office at the end of the first game. My interpretation now is K. Asogi assigned to kill T. Gregson, A. Shin assigned to kill J. Wilson because she did. We have come across that exact same list. Name/name, comma, name/name. So they're probably... No. That's not right. Because my interpretation is assassins, then their related victims. So slashes, commas probably aren't important. Unless this Gregson meant to murder Asogi. Could be. And maybe Jigoku killed not in self-defense, but to protect Kazuma? But that implies that Gregson is dirty, and I don't want to believe that. From the government. More reason to suspect the Chief Justice. Judge G. Goku's office, undetected. Investigate Telegram records. Signed off Naruhodo. Domes. So, I'm not sure what to make of it, because Judge Jigoku is also the Minister of Foreign Affairs, so there might be reasons for him to have communications like this. Is it that it's actually Judge Jigoku who is a wing of the Reapers? Telegram from Inspector Hosonaga in Japan with details of the telegram he managed to locate by stealing to Judge Jigoku's office. Record found as indicated Keisogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson, Hosonaga. And about the whole thing of Kazuma's initial death. Are we gonna get real truth to it? Ooh, wait. What if the accolade is to present the sword to Sholmes now? Where is the autosave at? Autosave is on. Old Bailey. I don't have to go through everything if I want to. Maybe this won't be the discussion. Maybe we'll get to present. Preventing the tour of duty from taking place. Which means he had to know something. Either he would have known about the Chief Justice's interest in Kazuma. Maybe he knew something about Kazuma as the descendant of the notorious professor. Either way, he knew something. Even if I don't know what the thing is yet. So specifically Kazuma, he didn't want to go to Britain. Specifically Kazuma. And he was quick on suggesting that Naruhodo take his place. So, did he know that Kazuma had connections to the professor and thus to the Chief Justice in some way that hasn't become clear yet? And all that's playing out now, after the Chief Justice got his hands on him? Apart from all of us, yes, that was Sholmes. The only one to bring it up. If you turned on the alternate costumes, even in this flashback, they'd be wearing it. Yeah, that's what he does. He's Sholmes. Which friendship would drive a man? Yeah, you are tied to Mikotoba too. Mikotoba is your Watson. So maybe he had you divert Kazuma away for whatever reason. So she isn't swinging from the gallows? Yeah, you made it feel terrible. It's bad enough that a 15-year-old fleeing the country in a highly stressful situation accidentally murdered a guy, but you go and make her feel even worse for it by making it out to be as if she just murdered Jesus or something. Yes, what is the connection? Tell us. 12 months ago. An omen. See, everything the Chief Justice has been doing has been in works for a while. The formation of the FIT, his plans for the Great Exhibition, maybe even finding some way to get rid of both Gregson and Van Zieks at once. But what is the Omen Man going to tell us? Alright, we do get to present. So, if the accolade, the mystery accolade, has a symbol of the sword, what if I present the sword now? Sword does nothing. The pheasant. So, gotta present something, because there's nothing to examine, I can't move. The lack of pheasant, what to present? The telegram? After all, it's the detective's job to know what people don't want you to know. Perpetually eavesdropping on specifically between Britain and Japan. He does have RF receiver transmitter mice. But doesn't Morse send telegrams? That goes over wires, doesn't it? That's electronic telegrams that doesn't go over the RF waves. Does it? Do they have radio yet? When was radio wave communication? I can't be bothered to look up the history just right now. And partly mistaken. Maybe it's that they're all victims. A Shin did do a killing, but she also got killed in turn. Maybe they're all names of agents of the Reaper, and the Wilson killing by Brett was simply silencing one old branch that had to be pruned. A Shin. Are you telling me that Miss Brett wasn't just not Miss Brett, but also wasn't Asa Shin? Well, that tracks then. She showed up in Japan as a student, assumed name, but she make it sound like she was dead already. Ah, that's your mistake then. Well, that makes it look like these are victims then. If Wilson died, and you suspected A Shin died, so it is a hit list. Which kind of muddies what the motive for Brett killing Wilson was then, because I assume that she was a foreign arm of the Reaper, of the Chief Justice. But I guess the two can't be mutually exclusive, they don't have to be. Maybe she was being used, coerced to kill for the Chief Justice, but also a killer on the run, so someone who has escaped justice. Use a criminal to kill, and then when you're done with her, kill her. Iris, you've finally been informed about it. Yeah, we could have told you all year long. I mean, she was. She was in Japan, and from her position as a student, as Giselle Brett, she did kill Dr. John H. Wilson, but she's dead now. She was killed herself. You know, topsy-turvy. The Topsy hypothesis. So it's not all victims, was I right? That it's killers and their associated victims? Maybe Asashin killed in self-defense. Maybe Dr. Wilson was actually the arm of the Reaper in Japan, and Asashin, who knew about this because she grew up in an era of the Reaper's notoriety, found out about John H. Wilson's purpose and killed him before he could kill her. Both victims and killers, indeed. Dispatch from Britain to dispatch Wilson. That was my initial thought, but is it going to get even topsier? And that means then, either Kosogi was going to kill Gregson, or Gregson going to kill poor Kazuma. But I don't want to believe that Gregson was dirty, I really don't. I think it is the intent that Kazuma gets picked up and gets used by the Chief Justice to kill Gregson, and then they have a foreign patsy to put it all on, just like the professor 10 years prior. And it is the son of the professor, so they get to argue sins of the father. Maybe all the Japanese are like this, if they want to get even worse. And Jigoku had this communication. He knew. Maybe he came to a similar conclusion. He knew about Brett, Wilson, Asashin. But maybe he got it backwards. Maybe he thought that Gregson was going to kill Kazuma, and thus dispatched Gregson to protect Kazuma, not realizing that Gregson was the intended victim since he was investigating the Reaper. That does explain almost everything, and it adds a little bit of tragedy to it, that Jigoku made himself a murderer to protect someone from someone who wasn't going to hurt him. Assassination of the mark. You're not saying who it is because it's you, and you're obfuscating because the Chief Justice is right there, and the Chief Justice has groomed you into the type of prosecutor he wants, to present your court case as he wants. I don't think Kazuma was groomed to murder Gregson as early out as a year. Unless it goes back to the troll letter that was mailed to him about your father is a killer. Maybe it wasn't the first, maybe it wasn't the last time that he received communications. And maybe somebody did feed him the ideas about Greg getting his father hanged. Assassin exchange. I don't believe it. I'm sure Kazuma might have wanted to know the truth about his father, maybe get some vengeance on the people who killed him. But I don't think he was groomed as an assassin from that early on. I think he was groomed as an assassin only after the Chief Justice got to him. What is that? Strangers on a train? Two distraught husbands with unhappy marriages, and so they agree to kill each other's wives, and not their own. And because they're strangers on a train, there's no motive for their own killings. Could be, but so is he suggesting that this is a plot on PM or Queen level and not just the Chief Justice doing his thing from behind the scenes? Strangers on a train, but that means Kazuma's dirty. And I can't believe that. We can't believe that in the running theme of Ace Attorney, where you have to believe your client's innocence, unless it's Mike Vanguard. And if it's your friend is always innocent. Always defend your friends. Always believe your friends. See, that I do believe. What I don't believe is that Kazuma was trained to be an assassin for Gregson from the start, while he was in law school or earlier. I think maybe he was planted beliefs that someone in Britain killed his father. But I think that turning him into a killer wasn't meant to happen until he got to Britain, under the Chief Justice's grooming, and that Kazuma arriving in Britain as an amnesiac was a very happy coincidence that made it even easier. One last assignment. They just had to have contraband smuggling on the same boat that Jigoku was on. Jigoku, who knew one side of the communications. I mean, he still can be. Why not have him be? Have Sholmes and Professor Mikotoba officially adopt her as their daughter? She could be. All this is still on the table. Make it happen. Happy ending for everybody. Do it. Do it. Oh no, it's already 3. It's already 3 and it's been 3.5 hours of stream. So it's been about half an hour for this, so maybe 2.5 hours to the next save. Maybe? I gotta think tactically, how long is this gonna take? Because there's still several points that haven't been brought up in court, and we are getting more evidence that does implicate governmental international things, and a few things hitting 10 years back. Naruhodo, if you want to be her brother, you gotta marry her sister first. You gotta marry into the family. For my big brother and sister. For Nii-chan and Nei-san. Isn't it obvious? She's going from smoke grenade launchers to make it a big old tank to tear down the walls of the Old Bailey. And then to be continue again. To have all these friends, the most wonderful family. Aww. But Naruhodo, there's nothing about your family back in Japan being broken apart. Kazuma lost his parents, Suzato lost her mom. But you still got yours, right? I mean, if you want to marry to this family, go for it. But you have family. I guess now he's got 2. To be continued. Alright. A small interlude You know what that tells me, right? That tells me that the next part is gonna take a lot longer than 2 hours. The 30 minutes that we spent in the Shome Suite doesn't count for the for how long it takes in the next save. So it's gonna be a good 2 or even 3.5 hours, which is gonna push it to after 5 p.m., maybe after 6. So I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna play it safe and call it there for today. And tomorrow we'll begin day 2 of the prior of the trial of the bleh, of the trial proper, which is fitting, I guess. Day 1 starting day 1 of the case of the trial, and then day 2 starting day 2 of the trial, and continue onwards to day 3, day 4, and onwards and onwards. But the game's almost done, at least. Already almost done, and not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss it. So let me find somebody to raid or host. Duke playing Dread Templar, Aqua's playing Time Gal. Other people playing Ace Attorney Chronicles. There really are a whole lot of VTubers across Twitch these days. Got to raid a goat, an actual opossum. There's one dressed kind of as an Edgeworth, another that's a fox. You know what? Foxes are common. But a VTuber dressed as the chief prosecutor of the classic Ace Attorneys, that I haven't seen. So why don't we go and host that starfish face, who's been live for 2 minutes it looks like, so good timing. But yeah, thanks for popping in. A shorter stream, but that's alright, had something to do earlier. I gotta triage my time. We'll resume this case tomorrow, and make some goodly progress, as we have more evidence to all these conspiracies that have been circling around. I still think the Chief Justice is going to be very complicit. Let's go for his head then. Enjoy the rest of your day and catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.